And I got this soda. Or whatever Fetty Wap said. Wait a minute! What's up, YouTubers? We'll get things going here in just a moment. We're just kind of hanging out. It's kind of hanging out. I will be right back, but YouTube's all set up if you want to get started whenever you're ready. I'll be like 2 minutes, maybe.
Maybe we'll go over like a site update or two, what have you. But first, I just want to look at these. Intel 23 next week. 3 days, including today, of some pretty sizable candles. The August 12th flows at 26 average are up more than 2 times now. Intel's had a pretty nice run. I mean, it's Intel, right? It's going to go down at some point, probably. It'll be back at 20 before we know it. But for now, you can enjoy it. Let's see here. Someone says Glob earnings after hours. Glob earnings for sure. If you want to pull up the flow from the last time, I think I remember you saw like a pretty big glob put that went like 1,000% or something. If my memory serves me correctly, feel free to pull it up. But let's see what flows hit today. So these Microsoft calls might be a little skunked. What did I add to my thing today? Let's see. I added a decent amount. I guess I added the shop calls that I didn't add yesterday. So some of the shop, there was some big shop call flow yesterday on, let's see, I'll just sort by ticker this time. So yesterday we saw 3 different shop contracts all get hit in the morning, and they all got closed this morning as well. So we had the 157.5 strike September 5 calls yesterday, closed at the open. Also the next week 157.5 strike calls, again opened yesterday morning, closed today. And then lastly, the end of month 155 strike opened in the morning and in the afternoon, and it looks like they closed out in the morning today. So disappointing for the shop traders. The flow, I mean, it looked pretty good. Multiple contracts getting hit like that, but they took their loss pretty quick. What else did we add today? I didn't add this from yesterday. So there was some big Apple calls yesterday. The 10 strike for next year, August 21st. These, I believe, are short calls. Let's see if the feed, can we see the feed here? So yeah, I think they're short calls because, I'll give you a reason. So we can see here, let's zoom out just a hair. I'm gonna change this premium to 2,500 instead. All right, so we can kind of see the start of the volume yesterday, right? So this Apple 310 contract ended the day with 10,000 volume, 10,000 plus open interest today. So we know that like this is the open interest we would expect from yesterday's activity. But what did yesterday's activity actually look like, right? So they started, right? Obviously volume starts the day at 0. So we're seeing the beginning, the middle, and then we'll look at more of the tape later, but this is how it started out, right? So they're starting out at 318.07 Eastern. It's filling at 445 against the 470 spread. So whatever, kind of wide, but it is what it is. See that by the time it gets to the, and even in the same timestamp, even in this 15:18:07 timestamp, we can see that the bid has dropped a hair. It's dropped, 438, 440. Actually, not 440, but 440 here. 440, 438. It's starting to fill lower than 445. It's still filling at the bid, but the bid is getting lower and lower because presumably this trade was clearing out existing bid orders at this 450 level. And when there's no more, it goes to the 440. Maybe this one snuck in somehow. And then now it's filling at 435. And presumably this flow is also them, right? Remember we said it was 10,000 total volume. Let's see if we can just look at the whole feed from yesterday. So we do see, so there was this big 6,000 volume or 6,000 size fill that was at or closer to the ask, but it's on a wide fill, which should give us pause. And if we consider what happened before, it just leans that it's a short call very heavily. Now the open interest doesn't tell you that it's long or short. It's a common misconception. I know a lot of people went into today thinking that these were long calls, but they're not. So, I'll say that they're very, very likely not. So yeah. What else? Someone asked me about 5. I can delete that. Did that delete? All right. What's this other HPE? So there was HPE 23C November on the 7th. That was last Thursday. More yesterday, which resulted in pretty much an equal sized increase in open interest. More volume today. And there are a few different HPE contracts of interest. So this weekly 22 is probably cooked, unless HPE is the Buffett ticker. That remains to be seen. These happened yesterday. I'm not sure if these are long or short. So I'm not going to comment too much there. The HP20 Novembers, these from a while ago, right? Oh, so these are actually up pretty nice. So these were open. They closed a lot of the position. These were open back in late June. Other HPE contracts of note are the 21C November from the other day. This was on Monday. So I don't know. HPE, some stuff going on. When is HPE earnings? HPE, it's not for 20 days. So while some of this flow expires after earnings, it doesn't necessarily make it like an earnings trade, so to speak. We do see elevated volume recently as of late. Today trading at the average with still an hour to go. Yesterday 6.4 times. The day before 3.1. 1 times, 1 times, 2 times, 1. I'm just rounding here. So I don't know. Elevated volume for sure. Definitely some social media chatter as well. I know Wall Street Jesus also mentioned it. What else do we have here? So yesterday, was it yesterday? It wasn't yesterday. So there was the Apple 245 Novembers that you guys probably remember from August 7th. August 7th right here. It looks like they're starting to roll some of these to the 265. So from the 245 to the 265, I'm sure you'll be able to do the math and figure out the profit and how much they're paying to keep the trade going. So again, August 7th, this is their entry. They haven't. They're closing like 2/3 so far. It looks like, and they're opening a very similarly sized amount of these. So I guess we can just do some quick maths here. So if they bought them at 368, they're selling them at 7, and then they're buying these at 218. So let's just take out the old notepad here real quick. 368. So buy 245C at 368. So 245C at 7. And then they are buying the 265 at 218. Buy 265C at 218. So what does that leave us? But keep in mind that they're not rolling the entire position. So like the math is slightly more complicated than what we're making it out to be here. But if you were to just follow this trade for one position only, one contract only. So if you bought that and you sold there, so that's 7 minus 368. So that's 3.32. In profit minus 2.18 to keep the trade going. So you're pocketing 114 no matter what happens, and you have a 265C. But the math is actually, it's actually like buy 3 times. So like if it was what, 60,000 volume, I think. It's like more than that, but it's it's basically buy 3, sell 2 times, buy 2 times. So there's more profit being kept, or rather, there's the trade is the 245 still has a bunch of contracts, like 20,000, 30,000 plus that are still opened. I'm just speculating here. Now, this could presumably just be someone else. Now, will open interest tomorrow will tell us. I'm predicting that we see a pretty sizable decrease. The decrease could be anywhere. It could be anywhere from 44,000 to like 0. Honestly, remember that. Or I won't say remember, but if it's your first time here, maybe you haven't heard me say it before, but if you've been here for any amount of time, if you've watched any of our streams, you'll know that I'll very frequently mention that changes in open interest aren't necessarily one for one. Maybe we have a few examples of that here, perhaps. Yep, so here's a good example. So back in the day, and by back in the day, I mean July 9th. On July 9th, there was a 18,000-ish sized SPY 650 March trader. You can see the open interest goes up by 15K, which is slightly less than 18K, which is fine. As I mentioned, the open interest change. The increase and decrease doesn't necessarily have to be one for one because there's like a contract handoff situation that can occur, which is complicated. We won't get into that here. But anyways, they're closing all 18,000 contracts yesterday. But you can see the open interest only decreased by, what, 11,684, which is still a hefty decrease, but it's nowhere near the 18,000 that they closed. So just know that that is a possible thing. Do we have any other examples? I think we do. The RKT20 were rolled, right? Yesterday we saw a pretty sizable roll. So this candle by itself was 9,700 volume. But we see that the open interest is only decreased by 4,500 today. So just keep keep that in mind. That's just a tricky thing about open interest. UPS speculated to be a potential Buffett candidate, and by speculated by, I mean like there's like 2 dudes on Twitter who said something. So like don't quote me, don't quote them. I've seen people say UPS. What else are they saying? UNH. Don't know what else. But anyways, moving on. Berkby potential short puts. Not very exciting. Open 1.5 strike calls. I'm sure you guys have heard about Open in the last couple weeks. Some pretty big volume here. These are effectively, it's just like purchasing stock, but cheaper, I guess. Slightly cheaper.
The 5C for open was a request as well, so that works out.
Yep. We'll get to the chat here in a second. Sorry. I'll hurry it along here. So I think there are some Apple short puts on the 230 November. These are at 978. So you have the break evens like 220, which is pretty generous. These, I just want to see what the open interest does. These might be short. If you guys look at the volume today, they're definitely being opened, I'd have to say. So we should see like what, 3,000 open interest tomorrow. I just like don't really know what it is when like they do this thing. We've seen this before a few times. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just added this for no reason. Okay, so let me get to the chat. You guys have heard me blab. I said my spiel. All right, so the first contract in the chat is Glob at tomorrow's expiration. 85C, this ticker is trading earnings tomorrow.
Glob is objectively an amazing ticker.
Let's see here. Where is it? Glob hit in the morning. 100% opening trade, just given the volume open interest. It is coming in at the ask, which is always nice to see. Yeah, earnings. So, you know, who knows? Let's see what Glob has done historically. Glob. So it's gotten dunked on in the last few earnings. Historically, it seems to move quite a bit, either to the upside or to the downside. So, yep, good luck. Good luck, Glob traders. Moving on here. YouTube, we have a YouTube request, CMG. The comment is high open interest on the 35 or the 37.5 November expiration from a few days ago. And indeed, we do see 23,000 plus volume with an accompanying change in open interest. However, the one thing that my eye sees immediately is that 96% of all of this volume was attached to another contract or to stock. So let's take a look at what happened there. So it was attached to some 42p. So it looks like some kind of roll. Let's take a look at the historical data for the 42p September 5th. So we can see this is the volume that was attached to the 37.5 that we're talking about. But it looks like this particular part of the trade, the 42 September part, was opened back on July 28th. This was a single leg trade. So this looks like it was the start of their trade. So on July 28th for $37 or 37 cents, however you want to say it, they opened up, and you can see that both of these candles were opening trades because the open interest has increased by effectively the volume. So we'll say 11,000 contracts at 37, and then they sold. So even though this candle is green, this was definitely them selling a large part of their position. They sold a large part of their position at 82, and then they presumably bought. This would be them. They presumably bought these at 98. This might be them increasing their position size as well. So it's hard to say what exactly is going on. They've definitely made some money. They're keeping a position on, but it's definitely not as black and white as you may have believed just given that there's a roll involved here. So this trader's already made a significant amount of money. So this trade could presumably go to zero, and they could be fine here. Let's see here. Next, we got another YouTube request. The Open 5C August 22. The 5C, it's quite out there, but here we are. Yeah, so indeed 24,000-ish volume. Let's take a look at the tape, see if we get any context clues. Could be buys. I mean, like with a meme ass ticker like this, like you never know. Yeah, all power to you. I have not traded open on this run. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely some volume for sure. I mean, the Eric Jackson guy, the main guy who's been popping it. He's pumping it, and then it was it yesterday or was it the day before? The Pompliano guy or whatever. I don't know how to say his name. He said that he was buying it. That caused like a big spike midday. That must have been 2 days ago then. Yeah, I think like right around here he tweeted that he bought it. And that caused that little run right there.
Someone on YouTube also noted that Wall Street Bets has been balls deep pumping open lately as well, so something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that sounds like it makes a lot of sense. Alrighty. Next we got the UMAC next week 10C. Next week 10C. So yep. Little 270 volume, $10,000 dollars. Take a look at the feed. Damn. Losing track of the alphabet here. So not a whole lot of context clues. This trade happened just in one go. All at the ask, I guess, which is good. But again, earnings after hours. What does this thing do historically? UMAC. Is it UMAC? So a fairly recent ticker so far. 2 out of the 2 earnings so far, it's not done anything really. So buyer beware. All right, next we got YouTube is asking about the U next week 40. I do see some volume here. Let's take a look. So we do have some volume, but perhaps you were inquiring about some of this activity from a few days ago. So we actually have activity from, what is that, Friday? So yeah, that was last Friday, the 8th. A whole bunch of calls opened. You can see a lot of volume. You can see a large change in open interest. But the following session on Monday, there was also a decent amount of volume, and there was a drop-off in open interest. I'm going to strongly assume that a decent amount of this volume was sold off here. But then that's like the lesser important part of that. So now on the 12th, we have all this volume right here, which is quite significant. Does this have earnings anytime soon? Not earnings. A couple other U contracts that I'm tracking. So I'm tracking some, I think this is a spread unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, so this was like a 34-42 spread. So it's working out pretty nicely for them. June 4, yeah, so that's them. They paid 110. So they paid 110 and their long position is currently worth, the long call itself is worth like $4. So they're up like 4 times, which is pretty nice. Also tracking the super deep in the money at this point, the 30C January, which was opened on May 16th, May 28th, and as well on May 30th, for a variety of prices. Went from 250, 379, 526, and last trade at 1150. So that's pretty fat for them. And these are just like not small volume either. Like this candle is 10,000. This one's 48,000, 30,000. There's like 80,000 long calls of big whale flow here. We do see a big spike in put premiums, so let's just take a quick detour and just see if we can see what that is. It's probably nothing. I'm just gonna guess it's nothing. Let's see, we get some big puts here, so it looks like some kind of roll. Someone's rolling their 33.5 August 18th or August 15th to the 22. When were these opened? Oh, so these were open the other day. So maybe it's a short put position. Could be, could be sell to open here, buy to close, sell to open. If they bought these, then they lost a lot of money, so like it's not worth following. So yeah, I would just ignore that spike, and I would ignore that spike. Yep. So we can see the call that was brought up, the 40C from 3 days ago. You can see at the end of the day, it kind of starts at like 2 p.m. And you can see at 2 p.m. this activity is causing this run and then that premium. All right. We have caught ourselves up with the contract requests. So I guess we'll just sit here in silence, twiddling our thumbs. I'm just kidding. We'll look at the flow and see what we got. What was that open one? Open 5C next week. We
Yeah,
also
the
have
5.
5C2 at the end of the month.
There actually are quite a bit of other requests in there too.
Did I miss some? CMG, Open, UMAC, I got every single one. Oh shit! Wait. Oh no, my scroller was fucked up. All right.
Gotta hit that scroll wheel, bro.
Yep, my bad here. All right. Yep. So fuck me. Let's go back here. Cisco end of month. I think I saw those. Cisco. So there's actually a couple different things going on here. So we got, you said 70 end of month. We also have like the 75. This already had earnings, I think. Is this the sleeper Warren pick? I mean, I don't know anything about the nature of his pick. People are saying it's like some kind of industrial theme. Damn, these are like these are effectively lottos. Like you see it's only $5 out of the money, but like a stock like Cisco just doesn't do anything. Yeah, I mean you can see like it's been $70 effectively for like 2 months. Let's see here. It's just like one of these boring boomer stocks, I guess we could call it. It doesn't really do much. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely some serious volume. It had some serious volume yesterday. Let's actually see what happened yesterday too. Yesterday, what was traded yesterday? Some puts that we don't care about. Maybe nothing too significant happened yesterday. Yeah, probably nothing too significant. All right, yeah, interesting. Cisco for sure. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Next, we got Pep today. This just feels like a Twitter pump.
Kinda as well. Investor Trades popped into the YouTube and he actually brought up the 125C.
Give me a second here.
Oh no, it was the 152.5. You're already on it.
Give me 1 second. I'm doing something off screen. All right, let's see here. Pep. So a lot of people are tweeting about it. Did anyone start tweeting about it? Any of the usual douchebags? I don't see anything. This looks like, unless it's being pumped from inside a Discord server, it looks like organic. It looks pretty organic. And they're up bigly already. Could Pepsi be it? Could Pepsi be it? Huh? And by it, I mean the Warren stock. Oh yeah, see the. I have like Twitter up on my other screen. One of the most recent Pep tweets is speculating again, just speculating from a no one who knows nothing. Yeah, but I mean these are up 100% in like 2 minutes. That's pretty cool.
Investor always
Good.
says on the chart as well, inside day as well, still has room to move, in my opinion.
Let's see here. Next, we got the Diz next week, 113p. Indeed, we do. Let's take a look here. There's a couple other contracts with like some similar volume, but yep. So we have some Diz puts here. I think I already deleted from my watch list, but there was like some Diz. Maybe I can pull it up here. I think it was 112. Diz 112 this week. Let me just throw that out there and see. There were some puts earlier this week. Maybe it was 109. Yeah. So it was 109 this week. Opened up on Monday, closed immediately Tuesday morning. For what is this, 5,000 size? What was today's? It was slightly less. It was like 4,200, right? So maybe not the same person. Yeah, so maybe not the same person. But yep. So that's that. Don't think it has earnings, right? I mean, I've seen Diz in the headlines quite a bit lately. Whether it's like, was it ESPN, NFL news, or something? I don't know. Let's see. Scroll. Beanman asks if they're adding to the Microsoft. These guys potentially. Good call there. Good eye. This was at 408. This is at 340. That's dollars. $4.08 per contract. This one is 340. So yeah, looks like an ad. Moving on, the American Eagle Outfitters next week, 13C. Indeed. Also the end of month 13C, it seems. I'm just like, so when I'm just like, just observing like just this, what I'm looking for is just quickly a large amount of volume and a small amount of open interest. So we do have that here as well, but the bid ask is not as skewed to the ask as these two right here. So these two, both, pretty low multi-leg activity. So these two, we'll just pop in on real quick. So a lot of this activity took place in the morning for this one. This one morning as well. Yeah, you should see a large change in open interest. I mean, like at this point, AEO is kind of like a meme stock in its own right, given the Sydney Sweeney ad, which I'm sure you guys have seen, heard about. So I don't know. But I don't know. Retail stocks have been pretty strong lately too. So who knows? Could be a play on that kind of theme. Let's see. Vertical, as mentioned, the PEP. We've already talked about that, but I'll give it another look right now just to see what it's done in the last 2 seconds. Slightly off highs. All right, cool. Moving on. Someone is asking about the PDD. PDD 125. Yep, I do remember those from yesterday. They're down quite a bit today, I think, right? Yeah, I already had it on my watch list. PDD 125 September calls opened yesterday morning. Were they a right? Potentially. Who knows? Does the feed give us any kind of context clues? The trades are all pretty big. I got to kick the premium up quite a bunch here. Yeah, I mean, nothing would immediately make me think that they were short. So who knows?
Really quick, investor asks on YouTube. It's pretty good, just general question, and I know a lot of people's filters are different. He asks, what's a good percentage to look for when looking at the multi-leg percentage? Under 15% question mark. I personally use below 30% in most of my interval flow filters. Unless I'm being a stickler, then I'll do like less than 10. But I mean, everyone's different. Just depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, like it's not even a bad thing really for it to have 100. It just means that you need to look into it a little bit more.
Yeah, a little extra footwork.
Do I have any big fat multi-leg trades on my thing that have been printing, or are they all?
I just sent one in chat.
Da, 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 da. So we have the MOS. Let's see here. Yep. So the MOS 5C January saw, let's make sure these are both opening trades. Yep, so on the 8th of August, about 10,000 volume, about 10,000 new open interest, or about the 10C. The 10C also about 10,000 volume, also about 10,000 open interest. So yeah, these are both multi-leg trades, not necessarily bad. It's just a call spread. We have a preset filter that specifically just looks at multi-leg trades. Let's see what just popped in here. So the Amazon 2026 September 260, which is being traded with what? Ooh, it's being traded with the 230 put November at the bid. Could be some kind of bullish calendar type trade. Could be writing puts to offset the price of the calls. I suspect we'll see an increase in open interest on these puts tomorrow. I'll add it just for my own curiosity. Now, obviously, not all of these will be interesting. Duck is another ticker that's actually ex-div tomorrow, so that's an error. RTX, Starbucks as well. So there are a few tickers with ex-div. Yeah, our data needs a little bit of work here. Let me make a note real quick here. Let's see here. All right, one sec, guys. Just give me like 20 seconds more. Just need to take a screenshot. All right. Back to business. All right, thank you for your patience. Next we got the AMAT. The AMAT end of month. What'd you write there? The 180p. So this has earnings. Are you sure you meant 29? I think you meant this week. But it is a complicated trade. It's probably attached to the 220, which is very in the money. It could just be put arbitrage. Let's see. AMT. Oh, I typed in AMT. My bad. Oh yeah. So indeed, there is the end of month. What'd you say it was? The 180. Yep. My bad. That is my bad. So we had a 300 contract opener taking place pretty close to the ask. So I guess we can peg that as a buy to open. We can lean that way at least. This has earnings after hours, so again, beware. What is the expected move? Expected move for this week's expiration. So the options are pricing in a 4.8% move, which is a $9 move in either direction. So this would be, if it only went $9, they would be basically losing money. Because if they're paying $3.40, they needed to go to at least 180 minus 340 to get to their break even. So that would be what, 176.57, which is very much inside the expected move. So, yep, maybe they know something, maybe they don't. Who knows? Let's see. Make sure my scroller is scrolling here. Next we get the QUBT. The QUBT September 19th. The 14p, indeed 10,000 volume, very little open interest. However, what does the volume look like here? Is some kind of cross trade. So it is a cross trade. So I personally am a little less interested in it. Let me see if I can get that link on hand. One second. grabbing something on my other screen. All right, Nick's on it. It's a tweet. It's like a 30-second clip from a TV show about trading, options trading, stock trading. That goes over kind of what a cross trade is. And you'll kind of you can maybe get the gist of why I tend to ignore them.
The clip is embedded in the article I just dropped in chat, y'all.
All right, yeah. So Nick just dropped an article. Let's see if I click it, does it come up? Yeah. So here, if you just click this link right here, it opens my Twitter, and it's just a little clip. We won't watch it right now just because like it's from HBO and I don't want to get like copyright struck or whatever.
They will ream us instantly.
Yep. Let's see here. Someone's asking about open. Real quick again, the 5C today, next week. Today, the 1-5 September's. Looks like it's testing highs. All right. Moving on. Slylist is sharing a 3-legged Abercrombie trade. Let's take a look. If I just use the multi-legger thing, does it show up? What happens if I just type in ANF? Is that the one? It is not the one. This is from yesterday. Kind of a similarly structured-ish. Well, I guess all 3 of your legs are opening. Let me find yours. I'll pull yours up. And so you saw the 104. There we go. The 93. Yep. Tracking. Also the September 500. Yep. So these 3 are all part of the same trade. If I click at each one in turn, you'll see that the volume is taking place at exactly the same time for all 3 of these. And as you can see, the multi-leg percentage on all 3 of these will be either like 99 or 100. So 100 there, 100 there. Yes, only 93 here. That's because some of this early volume was single leg, but this candle is 100% multi-leg. So the trade itself, it looks to be a buy 100 or a buyout. So a buy 100 September 5. So let's actually just write this down. So buy ANF 100C Sept 5 at 689, which is the average of this contract today. And they're selling this 104 at presumably 110. So let's specify buy to open. Let's see here, sell to open ANF 104C at 106, and then sell to open the ANF 93P 822 at 121. So the net debit to open this trade would be 689 minus 106 minus 121, which comes out to 462 debit to open this trade. So let's see here. When do you start losing money? So what is this trade doing? So like it's 2 expirations, which might throw you off a little bit. When is earnings? So earnings is 104. Okay, so the long call. It's like, so if earnings is in 13 days, it is on August 27th. When is that? Okay, that makes perfect sense. So I guess like they're just hoping it stays between 93 and 104 between now and next week. And then after that, they want it to shoot up after earnings. Is that the read, Sly? Yep. So Sly's comment in the chat is, think of it like selling a strangle short dated. So the short dated strangle would be the next week, 93, 104. And then the long call would be the September 5, 100. So this trade, if it's naked, it incurs a lot of risk. You could, oh shit, Intel is doing something. Where is it? Intel is ripping. What do we got? What do we got? Pulling up the headlines here. Let's see. Trump administration said to be discussing taking a stake in Intel. So, guess that explains that. Plenty of Intel flow lately. Let's see if we can keep some. Just a little bit ago, I mentioned that the net premium for the last 7 days is looking interesting. If this stupid yellow bubble would get out of the way, I could read the tweet. Intel stringing together a few days of bullflows, another disappointment brewing, or something else? Something else, clearly. What other Intel flows were there? The 23C 822 from a few days. Like, they're not even trying to fucking hide this shit anymore. What else do we got? Intel. This fucker knew for sure. What else? The 21.5 weeklies, I think they got rid of those. So they might have gotten rid of those a little bit too early. So I guess they don't win them all. Yeah, that was them opening up a lot of here. You see the open interest went from like 60K and it dropped quite a bit. So there definitely are some people still in this position. But yeah. Let's see here. I'm gonna just give it a well. All right, that's good enough for that. All right. We'll come back to Intel in a second here. Let's just keep the flow going. NVTS Semiconductor. Yesterday we had.
Do it again?
What's up?
NVTS was one of the front-loading stocks that I made a video and wrote an article about.
Oh yeah.
Navitas,
So
they had a deal announcement. Somebody front ran the fuck out of it.
So yesterday, 7C March. B-Man is also calling out the Marvel September 19th. 92.5.
That old position is still open in full as well. It was the 4C for January 2026. Still wide open.
These are also open as well. Let's see. Let's grab a screenshot. Let's see here. All right.
I just dropped a link to that NVTS article for those curious about the front runner.
See here, Joe named Joe. Is it possible to search net premiums for consecutive days of premium increase? I don't believe so. Don't believe so. It's just something you gotta come across at the moment. Bam.
You can do it with volume, kinda.
I was thinking about buying Intel too, but then like my dad was like, "It's Intel," so I was like, oh, "Okay, you're right."
Because you can do like interval call volume over several times, like 30 days, the averages, but I don't think you can do net premium outright.
One second, someone wants to be a smart ass on Twitter. Give me a second, I need to do some research. I'm gonna ask my friend ChatGPT actually. All right, what do we got here? Keep the chat rolling. Keep the chat rolling.
Oh, I see it. I see.
All right, 347. Speaking of which, the Warren steak. Let me check my phone. Anything yet? Nothing yet. All right, actually, real quick, let's actually get you guys hooked up to that. If I can find it in the frickin' menu. Here it is. All right, so Warren B. If you want to get pinged the moment it drops, you can either go to this link that I just dropped in the chat. Nick, if you could maybe relay that to YouTube, that'd be cool. So if you want to build that, you can go to stocks, 13F alert, all. You can title it whatever you want. Title it ABC123. Name contains, so in this case, we're looking for Berkshire. You can just do that. You can also, if you want to just build more, I don't think Ackman's done it, right? So Pershing, who else? I can't spell it, but if I could, I would type it. I would keep going, but the Duke, I can't pronounce it either. The Duquesne and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, so just for the sake of this, just for Warren, Berkshire, create, boom, simple. Do I have an example of what it looks like? I don't have an example of what it looks like. But yep, the deadline's today, so give me 1 second.
The silence mean the shit talking has commenced.
I'm just asking a question that I think is I'm not even gonna reply. I don't even know who that guy is. Whatever. Anything else hitting? Mm. 10 minutes. I think today's earnings slate is like actually kind of boring. Maybe
It's
other than
pretty
Glob.
bare.
Yeah.
Glob's fun just because it's the
Amet,
best ticker.
New. I think New is a Berkshire holding. Maybe was it or speculated? I think it is. Maybe.
QUBT.
Glob. Yeah, it's kind of a boring day. I think earnings season's like kind of over. I mean, we're still waiting on Nvidia.
Yeah, Nvidia likes to take its sweet damn time too, though. I don't think theirs is till like the 27th.
Yep,
Yeah.
it is. I guess there's there's still some fat names coming up. We got Palo Alto, Home Depot, Medtronic, Lowe's, TJ Maxx. What else we got here?
Kohl's
Baidu,
is
Target,
still popping off.
Walmart, Intuitive, BJ's. So actually quite the slate still to come.
Dude, Kohl's is ripping right now.
MongoDB. What do we see here? KSS stock. Yeah, it's a candle. So yeah, Dell, Marvell, Ulta, Autodesk. That was do some kind of French thing.
I think they need a couple more
Bach
O's.
flows. Let's see here. Someone is pointing out some Bach. Let's see, Bach. August 29th, put 45. So open the other day. Kind of weird. So like on August 6th, 1,000 opened. And then on August 8th, probably 1,000 closed. But then 2,000 opened. And then today, 2,000 closed. Yeah, I don't think this is anything. You should see the open interest decrease tomorrow. I'll keep this on my watch list if I remember to look at it, or I'll just forget why it's on there. Let's see, the other one is September 26. Put 40. This one's also 45. So yeah, yesterday in, today out. So yesterday in at 57, today out 61. Likely. Don't know if it's for sure. Just likely. But yep.
That Billy one might be worth a look that I posted in there earlier.
I missed it. Let me see.
It is the Billy fucking
I see
829.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. 27.5. Let's see. So yep. Check open interest tomorrow. Just because like it could potentially be like you could see potentially no change in open interest tomorrow, or a very little, or you could see 10,000. It's either or. It's either gonna be zero change, like a very very small number, or zero, or 5,000, or 10,000. It's gonna be like plus or minus within 100 of those three, if I had to guess. We'll see. I'll remember to look at that one tomorrow. But actually, what I wanted to look at was if it had earnings or anything else coming up. So earnings is coming up. It is coming up. I don't know anything about this. Yeah, I do know it's a Chinese thing. That's what I know. Yeah, who knows? Let's see what this thing does historically. Historically, not that impressive.
Kind of just toes that implied move. So
Yeah.
contracts are probably amply priced on this one, given the history of it.
Yeah. Let's see here. It's like a few more 13Fs are coming in. Actually, all right. Wrong button. Don't have it saved. If I just do 13F all, but I don't want to get this to my phone. Let's turn that off. But I want the Buffett one to my phone. Guess I can't do this. All right, never mind. All right, we got 5 minutes till the close. Some more UPS, different contract. I will add this just to look at it tomorrow. If we had to handicap the odds, is there like does Polymarket have anything about this? Polymarket, Warren Buffett. I'm doing something off screen here. Polymarket, Warren Buffett. Okay, so they have a few Warren Buffett. Or hold on. Warren Buffett. I guess there's nothing really. Warren. Nope, nothing. Someone has just shared next week's Intel 25C. 25.
25.
Yeah, volume. Volume for show. SPY is at its daily high. How is our how's this guy doing? This guy's hanging in there. In at 331, currently 576. So they're still up 60%, give or take. So they're chilling. Again, the 650 has closed from yesterday. So this is all out. I guess I can X that out. What is this one? Looks like this one's still open. 1659, 2147. Beanman coming in with the American Eagle update from the contract he shared with us earlier in the stream. He says that they've sold out. Let's take a look. He's sharing the 13C821. And indeed, it looks like they have potentially closed the volume up until this point in the day, including this candle, was 5,400. This candle is 43. So let's see here. This one is 850. So this 1,500 plus 48. This one's 44. Yeah, it's close enough. They're probably out. You might see a change. You might see a slight increase in open interest tomorrow, but you won't see anything close to 10,000. Did anything happen here? Oh, looks like these guys got out as well. The American Eagle 13C that we happened upon when we looked at the 13C. We happened upon this one. So I don't think it necessarily has to be a spread bean, man. I think it could just be two different contracts. Could be the same trader, but yeah, I don't know. Could be I would lean same trader potentially, just because like it's happening so close at the same time. Like maybe they just like, yeah, you know what? Let's get next week exposure, and then let's get the week after as well. But I guess they're tapping out, which is weird that they're giving up same day. I don't know. It'd be interesting to be able to talk to like a professional and just pick their brain and see why they do some of the shit they do. But we got 1 minute left here. Let's take a look at the Intel one last time. You assholes. Not you guys. These assholes. Not you guys. All right. That's about it. Thank you for tuning in.
Closing time.
What's today? Today's Thursday.
Yes, sir.
We're back here next week at the same time.
I'll probably do an extra one next week, time allowing, so just be on the lookout. Odds are it'll be mostly on YouTube, but we'll figure it out.
All right, yep, pay attention there. Subscribe to us on YouTube, please. Like, comment, and subscribe. All that good jazz. It really helps us out.
Smash that like
hope you guys
button!
found the stream useful. The VOD will be on YouTube, like right now, so if you guys want to rewind, that is an option. All right, guys. See ya. And pay attention for Buffett's thing dropping soon.
Later, homies.